So this is an impromptu video. Sorry about the weird scenery, backdrop, whatever you want to call it, but I wasn't expecting to record this. So just about a day ago, Stellantis announced the resignation of CEO Carlos Tavares. Now, given the abrupt nature of the announcement, the fact that Stellantis itself on its website said the board accepts his resignation, I think it was pressured into doing it. It's like the British Prime Minister. I don't think there's any easy legal way to remove them forcibly from office. Either they lose a general election or they resign. But if they're pressured enough, if they are shown that they won't have support to carry through whatever agenda they have to resign, because there's just no way out. And I think that's what happened with Carlos Tavares. I think he had no way out. And no surprise, sales were awful. North America, I think it was a 40% slump year upon year. And in Europe, it wasn't brilliant either. Auto workers as well, there have been the layoffs in North America, which hasn't left the unions happy at all. And also the quality of products has been awful. From what I can gather from people who are familiar with current Stellantis products, they say that it's just not there. The focus has been on sales to rental fleets, and of course, if you're selling to a rental fleet, then your product only has to last 2-3 years before the rental fleet will renew its fleet and buy some more vehicles, and the old ones are sold. Doesn't matter, it's out of warranty by then, so if they break, who cares? It's a horrible strategy because that tarnishes the reputation of whatever brands employ this strategy. So whoever's coming next has got the work cut out for them to try to repair that reputation, which is of course the next part. Who's going to replace him? Now, according to the news, I haven't seen any names put forward, but in all honesty, I think from here on the only way is up, because I think Carlos Tavares really has brought Stellantis and the brands that make it up to its knees. Whoever comes in next, I think probably one of the very first things they should do is break up Stellantis. I think it should go back to being PSA, Peugeot, Citroën, and Opel, and FCA. They should all go their separate ways. I think it's wishful thinking, but anyway. Carlos Tavares was the architect of Stellantis. It was his idea. And Stellantis is just basically the British Leyland of the 21st century. Everyone knew it was a bad idea. I saw that, I thought, if PSA merges with FCA, Fiat Chrysler, they're swallowing a poison pill, because Fiat Chrysler was a mess long before PSA merged with them. And Carlos Tavares' idea was just to reduce costs, share platforms, that rubbish. When has that worked? You tell me. If there's an instance where that worked, I'd love to know. Now, if you look back at the last 10 years, ever since he became the CEO of Peugeot Citroën before Stellantis, try to think of a product, of something that the company he was at the head at created, like a really good car, a really good engine, a good drivetrain, anything. I think you will struggle to think of something. In fact, I think the symbol of his tenure is the 1.2 PureTech. It's a terrible engine. Everyone says it's a terrible engine, and they still keep making it. In fact, it was something that came before Carlos Tavares, and it was crap before. Yet he wasn't able to say, look, let's stop making this crappy engine and try to make something good. No. Carlos Tavares is a symbol of everything that's wrong with the automotive industry, or should I say, those who are in charge of the industry. All they care about is costs and cost cutting. Quality, customer satisfaction, if customers are satisfied, fine. If they're not, whatever, we've got their money. I think that was like the mentality behind it. If there's any kind of value or satisfaction, then it has to be all towards the shareholders, not the customers. So looking forward, I hope that this changes. I hope that whoever comes next has a bit more of a vision, at least for the brands, and I would like to see Citroën going back to making good cars. Anyway, we won't be able to see any of the effects of his resignation for a couple of years yet, until the product cycle has run its course. It's always this way. And hopefully until then, the brands that make up Stellantis, especially Citroën, will be able to, stand on their feet and not go under. One other thing that he failed at as well was at the very beginning, I remember he said that he was going to make every brand very distinct from one another so they won't step on each other's toes. I've already done videos on that, by the way, if you're interested. But, Citroën was focused on comfort, and it was a bit more of a budgety brand. Peugeot was more mainstream, a bit more premium. Alfa Romeo was like a luxury brand, etc., etc. And it didn't work because, you know, you look at the Citroen C5X and you look at the Peugeot 4008, and they seem like the same car with different badges. You've got like the Citroen C3, which I saw the other day. I stood next to it, and it was huge, and it felt like a Fiat Panda. It didn't feel like a Citroen at all, just looking at it. I didn't get inside it. But yeah, it seems that this sort of idea of making the brands very distinct from one another didn't work. And in fact, when you try to do that, you're probably actually highlighting the similarities. Though it might sound a bit odd, but you know, Volkswagen have basically made the same car across I don't know how many different brands. You know, the Golf is the Audi A3, is the Skoda Octavia, is the Seat Leon, and no one seems to mind. They're still distinct enough from one another for people to buy them in droves. Maybe because they make a good product. I don't know, maybe it's just me. But yeah, let's see how this pans out. Thank goodness he's gone. And I just hope that in the future this will mean good things for the brands that make up Stellantis, which hopefully will stop existing, and hopefully for Citroen, because that's the brand that I'm interested in the most. So let me know what you think as well. Leave a comment below. Frankly, I think it'll be weird to see anyone in the comments saying how sad they are to see him go. I think in general people are glad that he's, you know, been shown the door basically. But yeah, I would like to know what you think, and please subscribe, like, share. Hope to see you in a future video. I bid you all farewell.